Hey YouTube, so my name's Andrew. I'm 18 and from Wisconsin. I'm a senior in high school, and I guess I'll make my coming out story. It was definitely something hard for me to do because growing up, being gay was one of those things that we never really talked about it, but the few times we did, I got the sense that it was something wrong and bad. So coming to terms with that was really, really difficult for me. So, I started having feelings that I was gay, thinking I was gay, probably end of middle school, beginning of high school, so like 8th grade, 9th grade-ish time. Really, towards the end of middle school and beginning of high school, I almost forced myself to start liking girls. I was like, oh, that girl is kind of cute, I like her, because she's cute and attractive, like in the general sense, not in a, whoa, look at that girl kind of way. I never really felt that attracted to a girl, and there were times when, like, I'd see a guy with his shirt off, and I'd kind of like do a double take, and I'd be like, no, I shouldn't look at that. I shouldn't look at that, that's wrong. Growing up Catholic and stuff. Eventually, one day I was at school, so I just got done with cross-country practice. It was my sophomore year, so I was 16 then. I had just turned 16. And we had just gotten done with practice, so locker room changing. And, like, doing that, when I was changing and stuff, I was, like, staring right into my locker, not looking anywhere else. Because I didn't want to, like, look at anyone and think that, oh, he's looking at me, he must be gay, or something like that, or, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, everyone just normally talks around, jokes around and stuff, and it's like, after I got done changing, I like, beeline right for the door and just left. And as I was walking out, I kind of was thinking, no one else does that. No one else is, like, completely ignoring everyone in the locker room, changing, like, leaving right away. And then I was kind of like, I think that's because I find guys attractive. I don't want to offend them in there. At that point in time, I was like, okay, I guess I'm bisexual then, which I'm not. But, so then I just kind of kept that inside for a long time. I didn't tell anyone. It had been a lot of months went by. I just kind of pushed back to them. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm bi, but I'll find a girl and get married and have kids, blah, blah, blah. But, then somehow, I don't know how I started, but I started watching the coming out videos on YouTube and that stuff. Again, sophomore year, 16. And, kind of more I watched, the more I was kind of like, I feel like I should tell someone. Like, I really don't like not saying this. Like, I don't like keeping this inside. I mean, I didn't feel like making a huge public announcement or, like, spectacle out of it, but I didn't like not telling anyone. I really felt like I want to talk to someone about it, just so I could kind of feel better. So, one night, it was February 24th, 2011? 2011. And, I was texting one of my friends, and the conversation kind of died, and then I said something like, can I tell you something? And she said yes. And then I said, you promise you won't tell anyone? Not, like, her best friend, not her boyfriend, not anyone? And she said, I won't tell anyone. And then I sent this really long text saying something like, like, you're a really good friend to me, and I trust you a lot, which is why I want to tell you this, and I really hope you don't judge me at all, but I think I'm bisexual. And after I typed out that message, I sat there for like 10 minutes with, like, my finger, like, ready to hit send. And I, like, couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this. Eventually I just took a deep breath, and I hit send. About 5 minutes later, she sent me a text back saying kind of like, could you explain a little bit? And I got nervous. I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. But and then I was just kind of like, I like guys and girls. And she's like, okay, that's cool, I don't care at all. So, and then we just kind of started talking about guys and stuff, which I really enjoyed that part because I'd never been able to do that before. So, yeah, that was really cool. For the rest of that year, I didn't really come out to anyone else. That summer, I was just thinking, I don't really like girls at all. Like, because in my head for this long time I had this emotional debate going on, like, I find guys physically attractive, but I like girls emotionally. And it kind of hit me. I like girls emotionally, but, like, as really good friends. Like, I love girls as friends, not in a relationship, sexual way, or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of like, I'm gay. Okay. I didn't really have a problem with that, because at that time I'd gotten comfortable with the idea that I was bisexual, but really, I'm gay. So it took me like 9 months to go from the point of admitting I like guys to the point of admitting I didn't like girls. So it took me a while to realize I was gay. I think it was really good for me. It really opened my eyes to some things, because before that, my friends used to joke and call me a gay basher, because I seemed like, of all my friends, I was the one who was most uncomfortable with the idea, which, go figure, right? That's just because I wasn't comfortable with the idea growing up the way I was, and then just kind of coming to realize it, or realize who I was. Whatever. So, then, after that, I started coming out to more of my friends, which, that went well, everyone took it well. I told mostly girls at first, just because you'd expect them to take it well and be like, oh sweet, what guys do you like? Let's go shopping, that kind of stuff. Which, I did get the let's go shopping reaction a couple times. Guys, I was nervous about that, just because I didn't really have that strong of a relationship with any guys. But overall, I think it went pretty well. First guy I told, I know he's really liberal, his family is really liberal, so, and he took it well. Actually, his reaction, for 10 minutes, all he said, "You're shitting me. You're shitting me." He did not take me seriously. I was like, okay, think back to lunch, when we were sitting at the table talking about, like, Megan Fox and stuff, and how hot she is. How involved in those conversations was I? And then he goes, okay, now I get it. But yeah, coming on to my friends, that went really well and stuff. Then, start of junior year, I started dealing with some kind of depression issues and stuff. Well, I kind of had two separate conversations. I was talking with my mom at dinner. It was just us, and my dad was at work late that night. And when he got back, it was kind of when we told him, but I was talking to my mom, which prior, that summer earlier, I told her I was bisexual. So, but that conversation just kind of went like, it's a phase sort of a thing. But, yeah, I was telling her about, like, depression and stuff like that, and then it kind of came up, and I told her that I'm gay. And, she was just kind of quiet. She didn't really say a whole lot. Like, I knew she still loved me when I told her I was bisexual. She took that pretty well. Relatively well. And, like, she still loved me. She didn't get mad or anything, but just kind of that feeling of loss. Kind of like mourning the child she thought she had. Not that she's like, I don't want this child anymore, kind of a thing. So, but now she's really great about it. She's talking about, like, oh, when you go to college, I hope you meet someone, and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So, she's really supportive now and everything. Then telling my dad that night, he got home, and we were all sitting around watching TV, The O'Reilly Factor, Fox News channel. Great way to start that conversation. My dad was like, okay, I just want to watch this segment, then we'll watch baseball. So that segment got done, and then he changed the channel. And then my mom goes there's something we kind of need to talk about as a family. And he goes, okay. So he turns off the TV and start talking about how I was depressive, how I needed to get that stuff kind of figured out, therapy, that sort of stuff. And then the why question started, and eventually I told him, Dad, I'm gay. And then silence for 15 minutes. Pure silence. We're just sitting there, awkwardly, no one's saying a word. So after that 15 minutes, I stand and say, I'm going to take the dog for a walk. And I go take him for a walk, 45-minute walk. Which I know that sounds long, but we live in the country, like, surrounded by cornfields. He wants to go out of my room now. Okay, then. We talked a little bit, not a whole lot. He said he doesn't have a problem with gay people, and, that he wanted me to say a priest. Not as in, like, convert you back to heterosexuality, but just so, like, you reaffirm, like, your faith and understand how you are supposed to be celibate, I'm not sure how you say it. But yeah, like, no boyfriends, blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was that kind of conversation that night. Which, it really took a long time for things to really get back to normal then, sort of. My mom and I, we watch, like, TV shows that have, like, gay characters in it. Like, we watch Glee and we talk about, like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen with Kurt and Blaine, blah blah blah. And it's, like, not really weird at all. With my dad, I feel like our relationship's stronger with my dad, because before with my dad, we didn't really talk ever about stuff. That sounds specific. But, like, about our feelings or anything, and now it's, like, before we really, like, we never said, like, I love you, Dad, or whatever, but now it's like we can say that and it's not really weird. Like, I'm still kind of getting used to it, but it's not, like, it's like, okay, but before we never used to say that kind of stuff. I think my entire family knows. I told my sisters. I know my, grandparents know. My aunts and uncles know. Actually, I'm not sure if one of my uncles knows, but my aunt knows, so I would think he knows, but I don't know if he does. My cousins know. Whole school knows. It was, in my opinion, a good cultural shock. Yeah, so, and I had some nice conversations with teachers after that, and they were nice and supportive, and like, if you ever need anything, if everyone's like, ever bullying you can come talk to me and stuff, so, that was nice. So, nice relationships with my teachers. Things went really well for me. The hardest part for me was actually figuring out who I was. And then when I came out, at the time some things seemed really hard and difficult, but now looking back on it, it wasn't too bad. And I know some people have it a lot worse than me. Any advice I have for you, if you're gonna come out, is make sure you're ready to do it. Don't be, oh, other people are coming out, so I should come out too. Only do it when you're ready, and when you think you'll be in a good enough situation where you'll be okay. Like, if you think your parents are gonna kick you out of the house when you tell them and you have, like, nowhere to go, I wouldn't recommend you telling them at that point. Make sure, if you're gonna tell them, you have a friend who knows, is really supportive of you, and is okay if you need to lean on them, kind of a thing. If you want to do it and you think you'll be okay doing it, you should do it, because it's so cliche. Weight off your shoulders. It makes you feel so much better, and you can finally be who you want to be without it really being an issue at all. Like, going back to what I said before, how, like, I couldn't talk to, like, anyone in the locker room. I had to change and leave because I didn't want to offend someone. Like, this year, the entire cross-country team knew. It wasn't a big deal. I'd talk to people in the locker room, joke around, normal stuff, and no one thought it was a big deal at all. If you think you're ready to do it, I really suggest you do it. I guess if you have any questions, you can just send me a message to my inbox or whatever, and I'll try and answer them to you. Leave comments or whatever. Yeah, subscribe. That'd make me really happy. This is my first video, so hopefully I do okay. Love yourself and be who you are. Bye.